This is our 991.2 GT3. We've been driving this thing everywhere, so we're gonna give it a good maintenance wash, how to bring it back to a really good standard of clean. We're gonna walk you through all the steps. This is like the meat and potatoes of car wash. After that, we could either do a full wax, or we could go out, we could drive it again, and we know that the contaminants and everything from the road won't be sticking on it. Do it by yourself, it'll take an afternoon. I got two more talented people than I do. Jeff, step one. We've shown this in other videos, you can go back and watch it, but step one is always start with the wheels. So we're gonna use some iron on this. We're gonna get rid of all of the brake dust. We're gonna do one wheel at a time, so we don't have product sitting on the surface for too long. These wheels are painted and clear coated just like the rest of the car. I think people usually, or at least I did, I'll speak for myself, used to go a little bit hard on the wheels. Make sure that you have your bucket, one for just tires and wheels, one for the rest of the car. Let's get at it. This car's been sitting in the garage. It's nice and cool. Again, we don't want to be putting products on a hot car. We have standard brake disc, so we're going to use iron. So we're going to spray it on. It looks clean, but the wheel is dry as well. If we sprayed it already, it would have diluted the product. That's not what we want. So you can see it turning purple.
Same time we can do tire as well. So while the iron wheel cleaner is kind of beginning to set up and do its thing, we can scrub our tires down.
Give it a rinse and then do it again. The wheels on this car are gray. They always kind of look like they're clean, but you can see all the red, the maroon here. It looks like a Merlot bloodbath. Did iron twice, so now you're just using a good wheel mitt.
Yep.
Lefty or righty?
Either. Lefty just for you. We did the heavy chemical decon with the iron wheel cleaner and the tires. So now we're going back with just the Bathe pH neutral wash soap, and we're just gonna agitate, get a physical touch. The wheel mitt's nice because you can really get behind the spokes and into the areas, you know, past the chemical, but the iron wheel cleaner got 90% of the dirt off, so we're just going back to get what requires a physical touch.
This tar spot's actually been there for a while. We're gonna try to take care of it right now. We're gonna use a little bit of tar. So this is that's actually worked really well. This is a heavy concentrate here, so you want to spot clean with this stuff, but we'll just give it a spray, let it sit for a second. Shane will give it a quick rub just to agitate it a bit. Actually worked really well.
Comes right off.
Oh, you didn't even have to work hard. Wow. To all you guys and gals out there with high performance cars, 911s, GT3s and stuff like that, they always have these big air intakes, big ducts. There's always leaves in the cars that I'm driving. I'm always trying to stick my hand in there and I never get it. Little top tip, my favorite tool, just spray this in here. And the leaves come out. I learned something new today. There you go, passing it on. Top tip from Puccinello. I'm locked and loaded, heavy artillery. We have a pretty common power washer here. Some people have more powerful ones. This one's kind of middle of the road. If you don't have one, this is a foam gun, by the way. They make attachments where you can put it on your garden hose. This will give us a pretty good cover. Again, the more powerful, the more shaving cream-like it gets, probably the more effective it is. But what do I actually have in here?
Yeah, so Gyeon Q2 foam in there. About 3 fingers is a good rule of thumb on your foam, and then halfway with water. And we're gonna start at the bottom. So we always foam bottom up. Okay. We want the foam to cling to the most contaminated areas the longest.
Right.
And this is just gonna help us evacuate that loose dirt and debris before we physically touch the car with a wash mitt.
Pro tip, give it a good pull.
Yeah.
If you don't have it fully housed in there and you hit the power, there's a good shot, you launch the whole thing at your car and then
off the fender.
Yeah, and then you're mad at yourself, right? So let's see. I'm very excited. Let's give it a whirl.
I would give a little more. Oh, let me give you an adjustment.
Ah.
There you go. Cool.
Oh, I'm so happy. So happy. I'm gonna go right over the wheels and everything.
Yep, and give yourself a good, maybe 2 feet away, right? Because you really want this to fan out and kind of. There you go. Perfect.
If you've ever done foam insulation on your home, same thing.
There you go.
That was like Halloween, man. Shaving cream? Oh, I love that. How long do we let this sit like this for?
Minute to 2 minutes. The real thing is we just don't want the product to dry. Right. But as you mentioned, this is creeping down into the cracks, the crevices. It's gonna grab all that loose dirt out of your rain rails. And when we rinse, it's gonna take that loose dirt with it, so.
It's like letting the Guinness settle.
Exactly. Back to standard issue tip.
Top to bottom.
Opposite. So
bottom to top.
Yeah, so when we rinse our foam, we rinse bottom to top, right? And we do that because that will show us where we've been and where we haven't, right? We want to let the foam and the pressure washer do the most work before we physically touch the car.
Okay.
So if we rinse top to bottom, it just kind of smudges all over. So as you rinse bottom to top, you'll have a nice trail of what you've done and what you haven't done.
Top tip. So now we're gonna go top to bottom.
Now we're going top to bottom.
We have our proper sponges, and this is warm water and Bathe. So now we're just gonna start top to bottom and just agitate it.
And that's the difference in the two soaps, right? Foam is more of a detergent to break down dirt. Bathe, we're worried about lubrication, right? As we touch this car, we want this big, fluffy, soft wash mitt with a highly lubricated wash soap. And we're gonna do a straight line wash method.
Straight line?
Straight lines.
No circles, because
no
circles.
circles. Exactly that. Front to back.
It's always like a satisfying bit.
Yeah, getting the bugs off. Isn't it weird what your brain wants to do? You know you're supposed to not run that wheel well, but walking away from it is borderline painful.
Don't stick the fork in the outlet.
Don't do it.
We cleaned top to bottom.
We did?
I know you pointed out some people are gonna at me because I didn't have 2 buckets.
It's coming.
It's advisable for your full OCD indulgence.
Yes.
And for a better clean, maintenance clean. 2 buckets, rinse your mid off in the one, use the soap oil the other. I didn't do it. I still sleep well at night. The car needed help, I'm doing it.
And the car wasn't terribly dirty, right? If it was just off of the track, just off a snowy drive, that wash mitt's gonna collect, and again, that's what scratches paint. Act accordingly.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry, internet.
YouTube's coming for you.
Now we're doing
WetCoat. My favorite way to add quick, easy gloss, protection, and hydrophobic properties, right? So spray on, immediately rinse off. You could do paint, glass, wheels, plastic trim.
Plastic trim, chrome, everything. Not that this is chrome,
but quick and easy way to get this to pop in gloss and let go of dirt and contaminant. People overuse this all the time. It really only needs a couple spritzes. Do 1 panel at a time, and then we'll immediately rinse it off.
All right.
And the way I'm gonna do this, Shane, so as we kind of spray a panel, rinse from the bottom up, and I kind of dance it around a little bit, you're gonna see the water beading happen immediately. So we'll go hood first, and rinse it right off.
Yeah, we've been washing this
right?
car for only about 20 minutes.
Yep. And then go fender.
And you can see how much
oh man, just color comes back.
Cleaner, it looks more alive.
Yep.
It was dull. Car's all hosed off, it's clean.
Yep.
We just did WetCoat on it.
Correct.
Just a nice hydrophobic coating, so you can see how everything's bubbling up. We could do spot detailer on this as we do, but we don't, as you said, we don't want to layer everything, right?
Correct.
We did one, that's good enough.
Yeah.
So pick the product that you like best. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dry it, we're gonna dry the paint, we're gonna dry the wheels.
So what's cool about this SilkDryer? 2-sided microfiber. Your long fibers always point down, right? It's pointed, you want that to draw up the water. This really tight knit weave on the back is what stores it. So as you dry this car, you might wring this thing out once. It holds an incredible amount of water. So straight line method, big old towel.
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom, and don't be all crazy multi-directional.
Right.
I grab the 2 corners, flap them out, make sure you get a good pat. You're just gonna grab those 2 corners
just drag
and pull the edges off. Look how easy it is to dry when the surface wants to let go of the water.
Magic.
Magic. That's all it is.
How easy?
How easy.
No water spots. I am genuinely impressed with how much cleaner this car looks.
Yeah.
It had a real dull finish when we brought it in here.
Yep.
20 minutes of washing, 30 minutes of washing. I don't even think it was, maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, when you get the contaminant out of that clear coat and you get a good transfer of light through that lens, you really do see a ton of color and brilliance come back. And when you get to these low, tricky areas, fold it up, just make a shape.
Last step, car's clean, looks beautiful. Good. Genuinely, I am impressed.
Good.
Nice
looks
work.
Great, thank you.
Tire Express, my fun little
tire
sponge.
applicator. 2 little spots there. Again, what's great about this one, the tire doesn't have to be perfectly dry for the dressing to work well. So just blot it out in a few spots, just to give you a good even spread.
Right.
And then just get it in there. Yep. It's gonna leave a nice satin finish. It's okay if it's uneven because this is gonna dry healthy.
Right.
This applicator is designed to kind of get in these crevices, to get well into that. So just kind of work it in there. Any of these vertical striations, you can kind of massage in there. You just want a nice even layer, and if it's kind of wet like that, that's no problem at all.
Is this protecting the rubber from UV damage, and is it
more repellency, so it gives us looks right off, but it's also going to give it a hydrophobic property that's going to help it reject dirt and contaminant. Everything we put on these cars reject dirt and contaminant is the goal.
Honestly, I'm not being product salesman or anything like that. Like the process of this car has been sitting in the shop and it's been making me a little disappointed. It just looked dull. And this is an hour's worth of work and it looks fantastic. And so it makes me want to drive it.